What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. And I'm back from my vacation from sunny Florida. Flew in yesterday, right back into snow and cold right here in New York. It's wonderful. I love it. Happy to be home. Happy to be back in the shop. Had a wonderful time in Florida. Look forward to going back whenever that may be. I don't know. I don't see that far in the future. Regardless, this shop is a mess. And the reason for that is because, like you saw in the last video, I got the transmission in the car. It's not 100% done. I'd call it about 75%. Still have to pull the transmission back out, put the converter in, bolt all that back up, finish welding the tranny mounts that I made, and then have to put the dipstick in, wire the trans brake, fill the thing with fluid, hook the shifter cable up, weld the shifter back into place because I had to cut the shifter out so that way I could cut a little bit of the tranny tunnel out so that way the transmission will fit right up there and be all nice like. With that being said, what I am doing today, a little bit of a different video. I'm going to clean the shop. But while I'm cleaning the shop, I'm going to try to tell you guys a little bit of a story time. Don't know how I'm going to do it, but the whole principle of this video is kind of go back in time and do a little bit of a background of where I came from. When I started motorsports, what I did, and how I got to this point of being financially irresponsible. And then you guys can know a little bit more about me. Mainly because I have a bunch of new people in here that follow the channel now. Thank you guys. If you're not, subscribe. It's a good time. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start cleaning up. And we're going to talk about a little bit of the history. And I'm going to throw some pictures in there. Should be a decent video. Or it's not going to be at all. I don't know. But that's the adventure of it. And you know what? We're here for the adventure. So thank you guys for tuning in, and enjoy this little story time. I hope you guys are ready for this history lesson. I'm going to do the best I can to remember what I can, try to get the dates right. It was a while ago, 20 plus years this started, and I don't remember all of it. I wish I did. And also, part of my voice, I think I'm getting sick. So I figured I'd do this video before I lose my voice. All this started about 20 plus years ago. Started racing dirt bikes when I was around 5 or 6. I don't remember much of it, so we are just going to kind of breeze past that and say that was the start. The start was when I was 5 and 6 racing dirt bikes. I don't have any pictures of that, but I do have pictures of me super young in front of this Nova my dad was building. What I really remember is when I started drag racing when I was 8 or 9, and I started in junior dragsters. And I love junior dragsters. I'm a junior dragster advocate because I learned a lot. I learned a lot about winning, losing, and racing all in general. I learned how to take a tree, how to cut a reaction time, how to drive the stripe at the other end, and how to take losing like a champ, because I did that a lot. I lost a lot in juniors. Was not very good. Quite frankly, I don't know if I'm a good bracket racer. I've never had a good win streak. My brother, on the other hand, a fantastic driver, great all the way around. I was much better at building the cars, as we're gonna find out here, than I was driving, because driving just apparently was not my strong suit. Hopefully I can get better at it. Like I was saying, I grew up racing junior dragsters. We raced at our local track, Estes Safety Park, and it was an amazing and great experience, and the learning curve was fun. It was just a great time. While I was in juniors, my brother did grow out of them. He is older than me, and he got into his first full-size car. My dad bought a Buick Regal, and we built that in our garage. It was a small block Chevy, turbo 350. It was a really nice bracket car for what it was, and my brother had some great success in it. Went to bracket finals, did really well. He ran in the Race of Champions at brackets. It was a great car, and I remember that's kind of where I fell in love with building the cars, is when we were putting that together. and it's great. I'm also really happy what it turned into, and we'll get into what it is now. But that's really where my love of this stuff started, with that Buick and doing it all those years ago, putting it together, and my brother racing it and having some great success with it. And after a season or two, I don't remember how long, but my brother raced it for a while, and then my dad decided over winter we need to make this thing better. So he took it all apart, cut it all up, and started building what it is today. And the process took a few years, as all projects do. And we were fortunate enough to have some good friends that lent my brother or us as a family a Chevelle to race. And we put that together, similar setup, small block Chevy, turbo 350. And that was another great bracket car. Here's some pictures of it. I'm sure I have a few. And I don't remember if we raced that for a season or two, but we did race it for a little bit, and pretty much up until either the Buick was ready, or I think we raced it until my S10 was done when I turned 16. And this is kind of where it turns into when I start driving again. You know, I got out of juniors. Dad helped me put together a S10 that I ended up racing, and the S10 is one of those cars that I think about often, and I wonder what it would be today if we kept it. The S10 came about when I was 15, I think just about to turn 16. It was actually the first car I ever drove. I didn't have my own personal daily driver, but I did have a race car. Again, small block Chevy, turbo 350, and this was a whole nother learning curve. Right out of juniors, right into this. Learning a door car is a little bit different than learning a junior, but the learning curve was still fun, and putting it together with my dad, my brother, and all of them, that was still some of the best times of my life. We raced it as a while, and as things go, just like everything we do here, we took it apart, build it, and it just gets right out of hand. It never got done, but it is where I fell in love with welding and fabricating and building things. It's truly where I fell in love with the whole fabrication process. The fact that we could build something in a two-car garage, that it looked awesome, was super cool. I mean, my memory isn't perfect, but all the same, my dad was also working on the Buick. And the Buick finally got done, I think, around that time. And the Buick got done, and the S10, as far as I can remember, just kind of fell on the back burner, and it never got done. Got rid of the thing, and the story moves on. So the Buick being done, it was a back half car, ladder bar. The frame was shortened up front. It was, moved together a couple inches in the front so we could plant it on the ground, all while having stock arm suspension. The body was channeled over the frame, and it was an 850 cert cage, and that is another car where I grew into my love of fabrication and building things with metal, and learned a lot with that as well. And I'm actually more excited for when my dad gets out of dirt bikes again and back into drag racing of some extent, because I love that car. When it came back out, like I said, it was back halved, notch frame, body channel over the frame, 850 cert, and it had a big block Chevy, and I think it had a turbo 400 when it came out. I know we switched between a Glide and a turbo 400 a few times, but this car was and still is my dad's pride of joy. I'm pretty sure he would trade both of his kids for it to be running again. Probably not. Love you, Dad. I'm just making jokes. The Buick is, though, where I learned the most. If I wasn't at school, I was trying to be in the garage with my dad and learning. And the best part about this car is we all raced it. My dad raced it, I raced it, Tyler raced it, and we all helped put it together in the garage, late nights, weekends. it didn't matter. We were all kind of trying to work on this thing and get it done. I have most of my teenage years being in the garage trying to put this thing together, and learned a lot. I love this car, and if my dad ever decides to get rid of it, we're going to be fighting. However, we'll keep this story moving, and around this time, you know, us all racing the Buick, and all of us, you know, through the years, I did buy the four-door, which is in reality what did start this channel. Now, when I bought the four-door, it was my first street car. I didn't ever had a hot rod that we drove on the street. They were all strictly race cars. Probably because my dad didn't trust us to have anything relatively quick on the street at a young age, and honestly, I don't blame him. I understand. But got old enough, started making my own money, and I bought this four-door Fairmont. When I bought it, it was a turbo small block Ford. It was a 302 with like a 60-something millimeter turbo on it and a C4 trans. I bought this car probably at the beginning of COVID, and I got a decent price on it. It was $4,500. $4,500 for what you're going to learn is an 11-second street car. I'll take it all day long. The Fairmont is probably the favorite car I own today. A lot of great memories in it. My wife and I drove it around everywhere. Had a lot of fun with it, and it's kind of how I got my hook for street cars over race cars. Here's kind of where I mentioned that my wife and I have been together for almost a decade. We met at the racetrack, and just life kind of goes on. You know, we're now married and all that fun stuff. But we would drive this thing everywhere. It was during COVID, so everything was shut down. We would drive it around, go get ice cream, putt-putt, dinners, car shows, all that stuff. We fell in love with having a street car with this car. The four-door was a wonderful car up until one test and tune when my wife decided, I'm going to blow this thing up. And it's not her fault. It's truly my fault. I didn't know what I was doing. I have no idea. But I decided that we should turn up the boost on this thing, and it was on a factory computer. I don't know how to take timing out of it. I also didn't know what I know now. And I don't know what she said it was on the pass. It was either 15 or 20 pounds of boost on a stock 302, and we took the head gasket out of the thing. And later found out that not only did we take the head gasket out of it, but we also bent 7 out of the 8 rods in the motor. However, it did go 1102 at 122 mile an hour with her driving it. And at the moment, she has the fastest pass in that car. After the car blew up, it was the end of like the nice weather around here. So we took it apart for the winter. I put it back together. And by put it back together, I mean I took the motor out, changed the head gaskets, didn't look at anything. Didn't look at the rods, didn't do that till I gave the motor to another family friend, and he took it all apart and was like, all 7 out of the 8 rods are bent. What did you guys do to this thing? So I did fix it. I fixed the motor for the following season. We drove it around another year and got tired of the wiring and the small block Ford life, and I took it apart to LS swap it. And actually, this is kind of where this channel started. I wanted to LS swap it, and that sounds easy enough, right? Yeah, well, you know, in our classic way, it went overboard really fast. It went from a simple LS swap to me learning how to TIG weld, and we put a 850 cert chromoly cage in it, fixed all of the rot on the car, and the rot is kind of what made it snowball. With all of the rot, we learned that we had to build our own front frame rails, and it got a tubular K-member and all this stuff because the front frame rails were pretty rotted. So we cut them all out, built our own tubular front frame rails, and we tied everything together. And I learned way more about fabrication on this. And it was great. It was a fun project that's, of course, never done. And while I was putting this thing together, no prep was really taken off. And I said, you know what? I want to try this out. I want to try this no prep stuff out. I'm tired of bracket racing. I've been doing it for, 10 plus years of my life. I want to try something different. So cut the floors out of it, back halved it, and I wanted to build a super light car because I couldn't afford horsepower. In doing this, I also learned that I couldn't afford it anyways with my old job. Since then, obviously, got better job, moved up, things like that. But the car has been sitting a while because it took me too long to build it. When I started building it, no prep was your turbo LS 6.0 590 eighth mile class, and since then the small tire stuff has just it's snowballed so fast. And when I got back around to being able to afford to build this car, the class itself changed a lot, and I lost motivation for it because it quickly turned into the fact that no prep is now once again out of my budget, and it's kind of sat in the corner. And I have some plans for it. I'm excited about it. I kind of can't wait to share the plans with you guys, but I'm not quite ready to share it yet. A few of you know, and when this car is done, I'll probably when the red car is done, I'll probably reintroduce this project. We'll start picking away at it here and there, and I'll tell you guys what my plan for that car is. So while we were building the Fairmont, my wife and I did sit down and talk, and we're like, we're really missing the point of this whole car stuff. It's no longer, it's not, we're missing the fun of it. So we sat down and we're like, we need to do a street car again. And my wife always wanted a two-door Fairmont, so I got on Facebook Marketplace. I found the red car for a killer deal in Ohio. It was $2,000, and it ran and drove, and that was enough for us to load up the trailer, drive 6 hours, go pick it up, and drive 6 hours back all in one day. A lot of driving, but when you're with someone that you enjoy spending all your time with, then it's really no big deal to sit in the truck with them for 12 hours and go buy another project car. The red car is where I really was like, you know what, I'm going to start doing this YouTube thing again, because I'd start doing it, like I'd get motivation to work on the blue car, work on it, do some videos, and then the motivation would fall off again because I'm like, man, my goal for this is just out of reach at the moment. But the red car, I bought it because it was relatively clean. I bamboozled myself. I didn't look as far as I should have. I bought it because I'm like, cool. The torque boxes are in good shape and the front frame rails are in great shape. I didn't realize that the floor was missing. They did a pretty decent job at hiding the floor not being there in the car, as I'm sure you've seen in some of my videos. A lot of rot holes in the floor, in the firewall. The rear frame, like where the bumper attaches to the car, that was rotted, so I had to build a small rear section of frame so that way we could reattach the bumper. And once I realized all this, my plan for just driving the car was thrown out the window. Took the motor out of it, cut all of their shoddy patchwork out of the thing, and built my own floors, fixed the firewall in certain spots, and then, of course, it snowballed. I had an LS I bought for the blue car and said, you know what, this is the perfect motor for the red car. Got a tubular K-member for it, subframe connectors, fixed all of the rot, like I said, and it's evolved into what it is now today. And with that kind of being said, that is a crash course history lesson on where this all started, where we ended up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed some of the pictures. This was kind of a fun video to make. It let me go down memory lane a little bit, find all these pictures I had on my phone, or finding people that posted pictures so I could go find them and throw them in this video. Was my history 100% correct? I don't know, but it was a good story time. And I'm now realizing this video is like 20 minutes long, so hopefully I can cut it down and cut some of the fat so you guys don't have to sit here and listen for me to 20 minutes and just rant about my life. But that's kind of where we're at. That is how I went from motocross to Red Fairmont. All right, well, there you have it. The shop is cleaned. Hopefully, you know a little bit more about me. It's all vacuumed up. Things are put away. That's a mess. And that mess is not going to be fixed till all the wiring is done. But that's whatever. It's more organized now. Floor's vacuumed up. Things are put away here that need to be put away. Converter and all that stuff is still out. Obviously, because that's next. So, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. If you made it this far, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'm going to try to set you up right there. Next video, all about the Turbo 400. Next video, it is going in for the final time. That's it. Done playing with it. We are going to get the mounts welded. We are going to get the shifter cable installed. We are going to get the trans brake wired up. We are going to put the converter in. All of it. We're going to do tranny lines to the transmission cooler, all that stuff. That's in the next video, though. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always. See you guys in the next one.